Hello and welcome back to another installment of Poke Fodder. I want to apologize because I feel like after yesterday's video, I did not really explain or go into any detail on the nuances of the deck that I was trying to showcase. I just kind of said, here are the figures and let's go into play. And my personal opinion is that there are a ton of places you can go to watch Pokemon Duel games, quite honestly. You don't need to come to my channel and just watch me play. That's probably pretty boring. I would be kind of bored. And if I wanted to just watch a match, I would have gone to feature matches if there were no explanation. And so I apologize for that. With that being said, I want to do a showcase on Suicune, but I also want to continue and use the actual deck that listener is using of the Phantom Energy, but I wanted to go into a little more detail on the makeup of the deck. First things first, let's check out Suicune. Looking at Suicune, it is a water-type Pokemon with the ability of Purification. When this Pokemon moves from the bench to the field, remove any special conditions and curse markers from all the Pokemon you have in the duel. That's actually a really nice ability, especially with poison decks kind of being relevant right now. The ability for this Pokemon to go from your bench onto the field and kind of a heal-all, or similar to the Tropical Energy Plate, that's a really nice ability. It has 2 blue slices of 8 each, so 16 dodge, a 24 section of Ice Beam for 60 damage. If this Pokemon is knocked out, the battle opponent becomes frozen, and that's very important. We will get into that in a little more detail in just a moment. A 24 slice purple of Sheer Cold, 2-star purple. The battle opponent is knocked out. If the battle opponent is frozen, exclude it from the duel. So you can kind of see where the plate makeup on the deck that listener is running, and the one that I'm going to showcase, hopefully it showcases more than just nothingness, but you can see why the Max Revive plate on the deck comes in handy. The situation could arise where Suicune gets knocked out but lands his Ice Beam attack. The opponent becomes frozen. Suicune goes to the PC. You do the Max Revive, bring him back out, and immediately attack the Pokemon that just knocked you out. If you happen to land on your purple move, that Pokemon is banished from the match. That is the makeup and the thought process as best as I can grasp for the Max Revive and why it is useful in this deck with Suicune. A 24 segment of Hydro Pump, which does 70 damage, and then you have an 8 miss section at level 1, which would go down to level 4. To level up this Pokemon, I would say you either need to go Ice Beam or the Sheer Cold. I would lean probably more towards the Sheer Cold, simply because it also knocks out the Pokemon even if they're not frozen, and a purple move that can act as a knockout is pretty powerful. If you think of, Lucario, and its Aurora Sphere is a knockout move, but it's only a 1-star purple, and then another one that comes to mind would be Magmortar with its, I think it's Flame Gun, where the purple actually sends the opponent to the PC. So very interesting. Suicune is, initially he wasn't my favorite Pokemon. I thought he was wildly underpowered because the purple also acts as a knockout, and the only thing it doesn't beat are gold and blue. That makes the 60 and 70 damage tolerable. And there are some other ice deck combinations of Pokemon that you could put together to help Suicune get those eliminations. So something to keep in mind. You know, he's not my favorite Pokemon. I think he's a solid Pokemon and a good utility piece in decks. So what I want to do is, now I want to just take a second to look over this deck and kind of go over why the plates are the way they are. First, you have Phantom Energy because you're going to be running, I almost called them Phantom, but it's Shuppet. And Phantom Energy will allow you to, if your opponent has 3 of the same type or named Pokemon, so Deoxys comes to mind, Reuniclus comes to mind. But you could run into an electric deck, maybe running 3 Jolteons. That would really be the only, or a Weavile deck, if someone's using a freeze deck and they have 3 Weaviles, or a round deck with maybe either 3 Sylveons or 3 Jigglypuffs. Off the top of my head, that's going to be really the only case. Tentacool and Durant also are not limited to the 3 Pokemon. I just don't see it in games anymore. So I really, those are the ones that come to mind. But that's where the Phantom Energy comes into play. If you get a surround with the Phantom Energy plate and a ghost is part of the surround, then that Pokemon is eliminated from the duel. The other thing that Phantom Energy that most people don't know about is it allows your ghost type Pokemon to come on the field if your opponent has a status and is on your entry point. You can still come in just like Jolteon does with a paralyzed opponent on your entry point. Mew, the reason Mew is in this is because, and this is for a Deoxys. Like, everything is built around countering Deoxys. It just happens to work against other decks as well. So Mew is in there as a gold attacker. We have Suicune. We have Virizion, Sceptile, and Terrakion. I kind of went over the Max Revive and where that plate would come in handy. We have Swap Spot, which is going to come in handy for maneuverability of your Shuppet. And then I have in Gold Block, you don't have to have the Gold Block. You could use Long Throw. You could use a Hurdle Jump. Or if you feel confident in your ability to block your goal, and if you're not, the less aggressive you are, the less that you probably need the Gold Block. And you could, if you're kind of a passive player and like to set up and play defense, maybe a Hurdle Jump would be better for you. Maybe a Long Throw for late game would be better. It just depends on your style. That last slot you could use, you know, a double chance and the next attack. That last spot to me is the most swappable. You can move that one in and out with this particular deck build. I have Gold Block just because I like the added insurance. I've gotten to a point where I feel like there are some games where I feel like I could have all 6 of my Pokemon lined up on the back row. My opponent would still just one by one knock through every single one of them to my goal. And it gets very frustrating for me when I feel like I have 2 Pokemon attacking or on offense, and I have 2 Pokemon back on defense, and my opponent one hit KO, and I'm just like, you've got to be kidding me. Like, how does this happen? So I tend to play more defensively, and I like the insurance of the Gold Block. So that is the deck buildup. We are going to jump into League play and put this exact deck to work, having gone over Suicune, the new Pokemon, and also why the plates are the way they are and why the Pokemon are in here. Sceptile is in here because 140 can beat Deoxys, or the blue can hop over, or it has some gold, so it could potentially knock out Deoxys. Virizion is in there because he's just crazy good. Hopping over opponents, Typhoon Slash, and then Terrakion is going to remove your opponent's blue attacks from their wheel and turn them into misses. So there you go. That is the deck makeup. Let's jump into a league match. And we will just see how the deck does. So our first match of the day is going to be against a double dragon and against a Shuppet ourselves. Swap spot, overdrive, hurdle jump, double chance, and X attack. My guess is he's going to try Shuppet cheese, where he brings Deoxys speed down here. No, that's fine. We are actually going to, let's see, 1, 2, 3. We're going to go here. Imagine he'll bring his Deoxys speed to right there. I will bring Mew to right there. Oh, that was interesting. Okay, so he didn't want to try the swap spot Shuppet cheese. Okay, he's going to attack. If I get blue, he's in trouble. I got blue. And he is in trouble. Who do I want to bring out? We're just going to bring out Virizion. Might not even get to set up the Shuppet wall. We already are not using the Virizion trap where we make them have a decision. Wow, a blue here and it's game over. And we hit the blue, so we're going to hop over. And that is going to be a really simple victory. Couple of nice blue rolls there. And that really showcased absolutely nothing. Let's see what we got out of it. Take. Okay, a rare metal. And let's jump right back into league play. So our next opponent is going to be a very interesting deck. 2 hurdle jumps, 2 track-ins. Very, very interesting little deck build here. He's got Torterra for the cornerstone ability, and Heatran. Since Suicune has probably the least amount of blue of everybody I have left here, besides Virizion, but I'm going to try Virizion cheese, and he's going to just straight up attack. If we roll the 60, we will. Oh, but he rolled blue, okay. Now, because he has double hurdle jumps, we are actually going to just close off that, because he's not going to hurdle jump in the middle. Maybe I shouldn't have closed that off, because if we roll Ice Beam. Nope, we did not. Guess we need to go and at least be somewhat defensive. Okay. And now we're going to do this. He's probably going to hurdle jump into the corner, quite honestly. No. Very interesting. Okay, well, I'm going to do this. Okay. I will definitely take the surround. I'm not really sure what Tear was doing or thinking. at that particular moment. We're going to back out. Probably, given the aggression of before, Terrakion is going to attack Sceptile. That's what's going to happen. I will just replace. And that is quite all right. We are going to try to Typhoon Slash onto his goal, or just flat out win there. Does he have no goal block? So that means Ho-Oh is coming out, and that is fine. We can also try to Typhoon Slash on Ho-Oh, and we get it. There we go. 2 games, 2 wins. Very nice. And unfortunately, we just haven't been in any kind of a position to showcase A, Suicune, or B, the Phantom Energy. But you're not always going to run up against, like, yes, this deck is built to counter a Deoxys deck, but you're not always going to see Deoxys decks. Nice coins. When you're playing, and this just shows that the deck build can hold up against normal decks as well. Because this is a short video so far, we will go ahead and jump into one more. Now I found an opponent super fast. Oh, good. This ought to be interesting because this is a really good Deoxys player. Almost 3,300. And it's a full Deoxys deck, so we don't have to worry about you know, a non-Deoxys opponent or Pokemon out on the field. So we're gonna have to focus on this. Hopefully this showcases Phantom Energy really well. Totally expected him to plate early. I'm gonna choose to plate not right off the bat. I'm actually going to get Suicune into the action. For me, I want to set up my board a little bit before I trigger the Phantom Energy. Because with Deoxys, he's probably going to come all the way down here, and he does. So that means I'm actually going to... What does he have? He does have the hurdle jump, but I have the goal block. So I'm actually going to... What do I want to do here? I'm actually going to do this. Because next I will goal block with Sceptile. And I just need my Shuppet to last one roll against DOA. Wisp. Okay. Just need him to roll Wisp one more time. Nope. That did not work out well. Okay. We can live with that. We need him to hit slip again though, or dodge. Okay. So now we just need to survive an attack from Deoxys A by Suicune here. Oh. So he's going to try to maybe get the teleport as a backup option. And he does get teleport. That kind of sucks. I'm not going to lie. Let me think here. If I attack him, he'll change over to Deoxys A. Just going to put that there. If I attack here, well, I think our best bet is to go here and attack, because we can get Grass Knot, or we can get okay, so we got the Grass Knot and he got the Slip. So that was perfect, which is going to allow us to get another Pokemon out on the field. But who do we want to bring out? Probably Mew. Actually, no. We are actually going to bring out Shuppet. This may be a misplay, but we are going to bring out Shuppet. Okay. Now we're going to trigger Phantom Energy. And here's the risk for him. If he attacks with speed to try to take out my Shuppet, and he doesn't, okay, so now what do we do here? I think we going to bring out his Deoxys D. Which is going to create a bit of an issue. I need to try to think of how I can set up some kind of a surround, but I don't know how I can do that. Let's attack here. I knew he was going to do that, which is fine. Yeah. So there you go. That was... My opening was probably not the greatest, and just never really did. I never really did anything, actually. Need to roll gold, of course. Probably just hurdle jump onto my gold from there, and we lose this one. So the deck actually did nothing. That was pretty awful on my setup. I'm sure you guys will in the comments will say, well, you should have done this and this and this, but in the moment, I didn't think of any of that, obviously. So, meh. It happens, and that is we're going to go out a loser. We should have stopped after 2 because we had it 1. And we did get the Deoxys deck, and I just did not ever get a board set up at all. And I apologize for that. That is my bad. So there you go. Tomorrow we should have a gym. I also have to play my chicken game probably tomorrow. So there's a lot happening. My tournament is wrapping up today. So there's that. A lot of competition going on for the final 2 spots of the rankings. Great competition. It's been a lot of fun so far. Check out my Discord for that information. Man, and until next time.